very strange happenings that has been going on the last couple years. A lot of things that we're not allowed to talk about, not allowed to go into detail about. In a lot of cases, not even allowed to mention the exact names of these ills. Thanks to big tech and their censorship crusade, uncomfortable conversations are not being had, no matter how important they are. And this is a big problem that's going on in the world today, and especially in this country. This great country called America. Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest during game. Heartbeat restored on field, Bills say. I didn't see the game live, but I saw some clips of it. And I heard it on the radio on my way home last night. And even on the radio, they was talking about how they had to give him CPR on the field, which means he literally stopped breathing. And when I looked at some of the clips, the video clips, because you know they go up online like right away with the blink of an eye, boom, they're there. The tackle was, if you are a fan of football, you know the differences in grades of hits and tackles, a hard hit versus a regular hit, hard tackle versus a regular tackle. It looked like just a regular, ordinary tackle. It didn't even look that bad. He stands up. He says something to somebody. It seemed like regular, competitive trash talk during the game. Stands up. He says something. And then he just collapses right there. It falls. It's like he went unconscious on his feet and he just fell down like a domino. And gotta give credit where credit is due. The medical staff that was available last night during the game, they jumped into action. They was able to perform CPR on him, get him back breathing, and took him to the hospital. But my question is this. If he's generally, his health is fine. He's a healthy young man. He's 24 years old. Great shape. He's not like an offensive lineman or defensive lineman who they tend to carry more mass for their position. They tend to have a lot more body fat. They tend to have to eat a lot more protein and, in a lot of cases, unhealthy portions of a diet just to maintain that kind of girth. And the kind of girth they have, it's a lot of fat on offensive linemen and defensive linemen. Let's be real. Other than guys like Aaron Donald, but he's a freak of nature. But like offensive linemen, they have a lot of fat on them. He doesn't play that position. He's a cornerback. Cornerbacks are built like wide receivers. They're cut. They're muscular. Think of Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is, even today at 40, I think he's like 48, 49 years old, he's still built like a truck. Like just cut, just muscles everywhere. A lot of wide receivers and cornerbacks are built like that. They have to be in the best shape on the field just about. Because just like wide receivers, they're running different patterns. They have to cover a lot of ground, so they're always running. So I think it's safe to say, Damar Hamlin was in pretty damn good shape. He was a pretty healthy young man. So what could have caused this? Well, the blue flu of the past couple years, as a result of the blue flu, a lot of professional athletes were being coerced in a lot of situations, and in other situations flat out forced to do the pokey doke. Get the poke, get the jab, the jibbity jabbity job. In the case of, when I say forced, look no farther than the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure some of you heard the comments from Jerry Jones when the blue flu was breaking bad and people were being leaned on heavily in all sectors of our society. In professional sports, they were being leaned on and blackballed, and let's just face it, downright forced to do the jibbity jab. You even had people being canceled, vilified, and drugged on the internet and social media, on TV, radio, etc. Guys like Kyrie Irving, who basically said, "Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get that." So they would pressure him, "Yo, why not? Why not? Why that?" And when he first told them no, he told them, like, "I don't know enough about it. I got to talk to my doctors. I got to get more information and research like that." And these same people would be screaming, "Hey, talk to your doctors and, believe the science and this and that." And it was very ironic they was doing this, and they're still doing this to an extent right now, but just so much has come out that has proven them to be the deceivers that they are. So much has come out. They can't hide no longer. So they would pressure Kyrie. "Hey, why not? You're an idiot." You got guys like Shaq and Charles Barkley with they dumbasses calling Kyrie an idiot because he don't want to do the jibbity jab. So all aspects of life, they're basically trying to force him. And then the blackballing will come in, finding every reason to go against Kyrie. And the genesis of that was because he refused to do the jibbity jab. He refused to do the okey pokey. And then little do you know, in 2023, when a lot of these big tech companies who were instrumental in censoring, they censored a lot of doctors too. This is what people don't understand. A lot of doctors who didn't agree with what was being said about the blue flu and, being forced to do the jibbity jab, they were censored just like anybody else with a differing opinion. And a lot of this is being revealed currently with Twitter, with the Twitter files and Elon Musk. Later on this week, there's going to be some Twitter files about a lot of you guys' hero, Dr. Fauci. Funk Master Fauci. Fuck boy Fauci. Whatever you want to call him. Now imagine if a guy like Elon Musk didn't come along and buy Twitter and basically open it up to the public so we can take a peek of what was really going on behind the curtain. The coercion to sway presidential elections, to censor a sitting president because you don't like what he's saying. He hurts your little feelings. Tears coming down your face. Your tears taste like Kool-Aid spices. Tastes like Jello shots. Buy some booger catchers for the snot coming out of your nose because you're so upset at what this man is saying. The things he's saying is hurting my feelings, my little feelings. Shut up. Nobody cares. And I say all that to say this. If Damar Hamlin, like many other professional athletes and many other workers in this country, by the way, was the state of New York, Supreme Court forced them to give the workers back their jobs that were fired because they refused to do the jibbity jab, as well as give them back pay. Just imagine for the YouTube purposes of extreme censorship, because YouTube still engages in that. Facebook still do too. So we have to say things a certain way. But let's just say it's all opinion. What if Damar Hamlin's cardiac arrest that he had on the field was due to him being forced to take the jibbity jibbers? What if? What if him doing the hokey poke? And then when the hokey poke runs out of juice, you got to give it some boosters. You got to boost up the juice. You got to charge it up again. Got to boost up the hokey poke. So, what if he had been doing that? Because he was told to, forced to. Hell, maybe he even wanted to. Who knows? Let's say that's the case. With the NFL, Big Pharma, the big wigs to actually make the decisions regarding things like this, would they even tell us if that's a small possibility? Would they tell us that not only is it a small possibility, but you know what? This is the reason that this happened. Maybe we need to reevaluate what we're doing. See, that's the problem. Society has become so overly sensitive and snowflakey. Somebody could be wrong, and just the mere thought of them having to apologize and admit, like, you know what, I was wrong. I'm going to work on trying to get this right. Just letting those words come out of their mouths, they immediately hurt their own feelings. So instead of hurting their own feelings, they decide to double down, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down. How is that helping anybody? We've been, anybody that's a fan of sports, we've been seeing this the last couple of years, and soccer also. It's been hushed up. Soccer is popular worldwide. Whenever there's what did they just play? The World Cup. They was talking about those games constantly all the time. Okay. Why no mention of some of these soccer players keeling over on the field during the game? What's the big secret? Well, we kind of know. We kind of know. We can get a grasp. It's a vigil going on, a prayer. Fans gathered in prayer after the game was called. Let's see if we can get this popping.
So, what does cardio do to muscle after 50? This is a trend.
Does nothing. Shut up. We don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. I mean, it's a very, very sad situation. And what's more maddening about it is the possibility that something that a lot of people was forced or given a little nudge, like, hey, you don't have to, but if you don't, I have to cut your knees off. It won't hurt too long, but I'm gonna have to do it. Might as well have said that. That's how I view it. In the last couple of years, that's what it's been like. Just even in situations where they kind of knew they would not be able to get away with just blatantly strong arming us into doing okey poke. So they would use back alley tactics, leaning on you like, yeah, you probably should get it, because if you don't, I'm gonna blow up your house. I'm gonna blow up my house. Why? Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest following a hit in Monday night's game against the Cincinnati Bengals, causing him to collapse on the field, the team said Tuesday. The Bills said Hamlin's heartbeat was restored on the field and he was transferred to the UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He is currently sedated and listed in a critical condition, the team said. This is what they were saying last night. And there really hasn't been any more, as far as I know. There hasn't really been anything else said about it. But I tell you this, if any of this can in the slightest bit be traced back to the hokey poke, these professional leagues that were enforcing this, passing down a buck saying, well, we're forcing it because we're being forced to force it. Well, now you can see why they tried to put all these what do you call it? Provisions in preventing people from suing them. Preventing people from suing companies that basically forced them to do the okey poke. Because even they knew, and they probably had a lot of the research done and knew, you know, this is definitely an exaggeration and some straight bullshit, but we're going to do it anyway for political reasons. And we're going to add these extra protections in for ourselves so nobody can come after us. This is why they did all that. Just in case somewhere down the line something like this happens, people starts to look, people starts to do research, people try to read the tea leaves, see where the dots connect, see where it brings you back to. Oh, what do you know? Could possibly open the NFL up to quite a stinging lawsuit, as well as other companies. If the state of New York has been forced to give people their jobs back, there has to be some kind of recourse that can be levied against the NFL, in my personal opinion. This tweet is from the Buffalo Bills on Twitter. Might be their, I think it's their official site. If I'm wrong, you guys correct me in the description box. So, Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field and he was transferred to US. So that's basically a rehash of what was already said. The scary incident occurred with 5:58 remaining in the first quarter and Cincinnati leading the game 7-3. The Bengals were on their second drive of the game when quarterback Joe Burrow threw a pass to T. Higgins. Bills safety Hamlin came over to make the tackle to end the play. And it looked like a regular tackle. It didn't look like anything out of the ordinary. And when he made the tackle, he even got up. It looked like he was even trash talking a little bit. That goes on throughout games. There's no NFL game that you'll see where there's not any trash talking at all. It looked like a normal play. I'm not directly saying I'm not saying that that's a possibility. I'm just saying that you never know. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm not saying it is a possibility. I'm just saying, brother DeMar Hamlin. Hope he makes a speedy recovery. Hope all is well. Prayers go out to his family. Hope they're not too stressed. Seems like hopefully he's gonna be all right, but you never know with these things. And the sad part about